What's your ideal height for a guy?
He has to be 6'1" and above. Like, kind of like you.
Me? Okay, so 6'3"?
6'2", 6 feet to 6'1".
About 6 foot.
6'1", at least 6 foot.
How much should a guy earn for you to date him?
Over 500K, close to $1 million. 250 to 300K.
At least 500 to 300K. 8 figures.
Did you ever date a guy that made 200K?
Like a year?
Yeah.
No, what the?
Are you serious? You don't think 200K is a lot?
No, I want a guy that makes 200K a month.
I'm not joking. I have asked the last 3 dudes I've dated for their bank account info on the first date.
Q, are you a feminist?
I wasn't before, but I think I am now, because I do support the dogs and cats needing homes, and I think it's a lot of sheltered animals out here.
Stop dating cheap guys.
You should be dating multiple men. You need to be dating 2 to 3 men baseline.
This is Delta, and she's a sociopath. We both have the same blanket disorder, antisocial personality disorder.
Let me show you why she's lying. If you're a sociopath, you are very narcissistic. You think you're smarter than everybody. So you will never admit that you have weaknesses, even if you do. So they don't have any issues. They don't have any problems. They're just doing this for clicks, for views.
But she's a sociopath and I'm a psychopath.
A lot of men right now act like women.
And a lot of women right now act like men.
Can't fix stupid. You can't heal toxic. Loving people harder doesn't make them love you back. And over-explaining yourself doesn't mean you'll be understood.
How much are you making off OnlyFans?
So it's between like 300 and like 350,000 a month.
A month?
So many simps out there. So many simps. Stop being a simp.
Oh, but all the guys I match with on dating apps are average. You as average as it gets, girl. You are below average Becky complaining about the guys that you get. You lucky.
I say women want men that they can control.
True.
So I want you to lead, but I want you to lead the way I want you to lead.
Yeah.
That's not letting him lead.
I hate men who know their worth. They be like, I don't got to deal with girls. I know my worth.
Let me tell you the tier. The top tier is if you have a family and your family adores you, you have the highest status of almost any man on planet Earth. No matter how rich anybody else is, no matter how wealthy they are, no matter what Bugattis they fucking drive, if you have 5 kids, 6 kids, 7 kids, and they all adore you and so does your wife, you're the envy of the fucking world.
So I had this ex-boyfriend, right? And he tried to come back and he brought a gift. You know what the gift was? 3 guesses.
3 guesses?
A gift.
Quick. Some flowers.
Okay.
Slides.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Or handbag.
Oh, nice. No, chlamydia.
I asked his father, who was married, if he would spit in my mouth, and he said, no, sweetheart.
You gotta keep me happy because I will cheat.
If you marry a woman that's been with 10 different men, that's a lot of imprinting. Because for a woman, sex changes your DNA.
Wow.
It changes it. It alters it. This is biologically proven. So you're being imprinted. A lot of times you wonder why relationships are not working because they're comparing you with other lovers. And because everything...
Yes, that's true. In most cases, you have to compete with all her boyfriends. Oh, well, my ex did that. Why aren't you doing that? Oh, my ex had this car. Why don't you get a car like that or better? Oh, my ex took me on this trip. They're always comparing.
Ladies, do you think the man you want would care about your past?
By the way, guys, stay till the end because there is a video that I want you to see so you can know what happens when you're too good with women, when you're the nice guy.
Not for the correct man. I think for the man, I guess, that's supposed to be with that woman, he would look at it as the stepping stones that got her to be
No, only a simp will do that.
with him.
A woman's past does matter, just like a man's future matters. Statistics shows that when a woman reaches a body count between 5 or 6, the likelihood for her to maintain a long-term relationship drops down to 20%. That means that it matters to her, and she will always be unsatisfied. Imagine eating something and never feeling satisfied. You're gonna be like, That's gonna suck. Feeling full, that's a good feeling. You settled, you are content. And women that sleep with a whole lot of men, they aren't content because they've been comparing sizes, bank accounts, height, the man that can raise her up and all of these type of things. So she becomes an unruly woman, meaning that she's for no man. She's only for herself and for the streets.
Divorced. I have 2 kids. The last thing I want to be is divorced with 2 kids and 30.
To be a hoe?
I have to do a hoe. Yeah, maybe.
Wait, so you would rather be a human sex toy than to stay married and keep your family together? Imagine how your children are gonna feel when they're old enough to watch this pathetic video of their mother admitting to breaking up the family so she can go out and chase STDs like Pokemon.
Yeah, I've said this before. The videos that you put on the internet will be there forever. Somebody already copied your video. It won't disappear. Even if you delete them, they won't disappear.
One of the things about what made relationships work back in the day is men didn't really spend a lot of time with women and vice versa. James Sexton, the divorce lawyer, he had this great line on the Soft White Underbelly interview when he was responding to the spike in divorces during COVID, when everybody was shut down and forced into close company with each other for extended periods of time. He said that men and women signed up for better or for worse, but not for lunch. It's really hard to just be in each other's space all the time. And the fact of the matter is, when we lived in extended kin networks and communities, men had a bunch of men to do things with, and women had a bunch of women to talk to. And even in the 50s, which is kind of romanticized as the paragon of conservative traditional marriage, that was the time when the man was a traveling salesman and he was on the road for 200 days out of the year. Having an office has kept more marriages alive than probably any other toy or therapy or intervention on the planet.
So we didn't work out, me and you dating, you feel me? So I'm supposed to keep paying your loft and keep paying your bins. Upgrade it, stay with me. If not, go see what's out there.
Oh, so then if that's the case, so you want me to stay with you for these items and use you, basically?
Not for them. If you want to live like this, it comes with being with me.
My current new lifestyle that...
Such a simp. He's just an enabler. She's a gold digger and he's an enabler.
that you upgraded me to is now contingent on me being in a relationship with you, and that's the only way I can have it in this moment.
You want him to keep your lifestyle up, keep paying your bills, keep you on that same upgraded level. No, you were dating a man that had money, so dating him came with a lifestyle. But if we're not working and our love is dead, I don't owe you to keep paying your car note and your mortgage. I'm not entitled to. Now,
I don't understand how women in the USA are so entitled. I really don't get it.
Realistically, that isn't really my job. You should find you a man like me and upgrade to him and keep your lifestyle.
But that takes time. So I just feel like if someone had me on a certain pedestal, you're not just because we no longer working, you're not just going to rip the pedestal from me.
This is the story of me agreeing to get an older woman pregnant and then her trying to ruin my life.
So this went viral a few days ago, guys, and I just saw women talking about it. I didn't see the actual clip till now. I found it today. So I want you to hear this story.
I was 23, I had a one-night stand with a girl from my hometown named Maria. We both knew it was nothing more than that, and we didn't speak after. Several months later, I received a text from her saying that she hadn't been lucky in love and she wanted a baby before it was too late. So she asked if I would get her pregnant and I wouldn't have to bear any responsibility, like a sperm donor. I considered it and I first thought no, but after some time to think about it, I thought it'd be the right thing to do for someone struggling. So
this is what happens when you do the right thing. It will come to bite you in the ass.
So we filled out an ironclad agreement and basically I wouldn't be responsible at all. A while later, she told me she was ovulating, and then a few weeks after that, she told me she was pregnant and it had worked. I went back to California for work, and we didn't speak after that. Unbeknownst to me, she contacted my family behind my back and invited them to the baby shower. They then began getting dinner or whatever regularly, and as she got to know my parents started encouraging me to be in the baby's life, and once I found out it was a little girl, I thought it was the right thing to do. I flew home to be there for the birth, and I got a tattoo of our daughter's middle name before she was born. After our daughter was born, Maria wanted us to be together and be a family. And when I said I didn't want to do that, she wouldn't let me see my daughter. My main source of income at the time was the Airbnb that I owned. And she said this a few months after she was born. I felt bad, so I let her move in for several months, rent-free. Once she moved out, she told me this: I've never done anything to warrant supervised visits, but I agreed to keep the peace. I would come home as often as I could to see our daughter, and things were usually okay when I was there. These are all from her Facebook. One Halloween, I didn't want to wear matching costumes with Maria, so she wouldn't let me see my daughter for a while. And when our daughter was being baptized, I drove a 14-hour round trip from Nashville to attend. And because I didn't want to see Maria the night before, she didn't allow me to come to the baptism at all. Soon after this, she served me with child support, saying that our original contract wasn't valid because our daughter didn't have a social security number yet. And I didn't fight her on it. I didn't have the time. I was living away. I ended up paying her $10,000 up front and $750 a month. I was able to move home soon after that, and I began seeing our daughter regularly. Everything was going really well until I got a girlfriend. Even though she had a boyfriend who was regularly around our daughter, she said that my girlfriend couldn't be around our daughter. I was able to get our daughter for an afternoon, and Maria asked what I was doing. I told her that I was with my girlfriend and we were at Lowe's together. She freaked out. I said I'd bring her daughter back to her as soon as we were done, but instead Maria drove to Lowe's, apparently called my dad, and was running up and down the aisle screaming. I don't know what actually happened, but she was freaking out, just blowing up my phone, thinking she was in danger. And keep in mind, my girlfriend is a mom as well as a nurse. Our daughter was never in any danger.
So his new girlfriend is a single mother. You can clearly see he's a very big simp. This is why he ended in a situation like this. Because he's a simp. That's why I tell you guys, stop being simps. It's not good for you.
When I offered Maria and my girlfriend to get to know each other so they'd be comfortable, with my daughter being around, she immediately said no and called my girlfriend a word that rhymes with chore and refused to get to know her. I recently found out that our daughter isn't mine. I don't know who the dad is, but I've had 2 paternity tests done and they both say this. I believed Maria when she told me that I was the only possible father. The situation was weird, but I was always happy to be a dad. I knew that Maria already knew she was pregnant. She had to have when she asked me to get her pregnant. I didn't think that was something that someone would lie about to another human being.
Of course she lied to you because she saw that you were a big, big simp.
So he knows I'm going to lunch.
He knows you're
He
going to
knows
lunch.
my vibe. He knows how I like to move, and he only sent $30.
I'm not going to bend over backward for a man that is just sending whatever he can. But if I'm talking to him, next time I'm out and he says, oh, you need something for lunch, I'm going to tell him, it's okay, somebody already sent me $100.
Okay. If we're being completely honest,
I can't even hear these women anymore. I'm gonna skip this video.
Let's play a game called Count the Red Flags. Red flag number 1, before we even start the video, just started an unnecessary argument with my husband. Why did you do that? Were you bored? Were you
Yes, they're bored. They're bored and they want some drama.
projecting guilt? Do you even like your husband? Completely forgot I need to borrow money from him tonight. Red flag 2, does not actually feel bad for starting this unnecessary fight, but does feel bad that it will make her mission to obtain money from him harder. Red flag 3, why do you need to borrow money from your husband? Why do you have a borrower-lender relationship with your spouse? I'm in a difficult situation now as I'd be breaking all women's code if I apologize, but I need the money. Red flag 4, implying that she would be betraying all women as a whole if she apologizes for her own actions.
Yeah, we all know it. Women never apologize. They never take accountability.
That's not how that works. She thinks that personal accountability is a threat to feminism. And red flag number 5, this one's a little bit more subtle, so let me know if you guys even caught this one. But not even wearing a wedding ring.
I know there's something that I need to tell you. And I said, is it bad? And she said, yes. And I said, is it about the marriage? And she said, yes. And then we began to drive back, and I had this sinking feeling in me. And we drove for about 5 minutes in silence, and then I went to put my hand on her lap, and she said, don't touch me, because you won't want to after I've told you what's happened.
She probably cheated.
And that's whenever it drops. And I remember that 10-minute drive back home then felt like an eternity. I was just looking out the window. And we got home. We got into the house, into the kitchen, and I was standing by the kitchen table, hands rested on it, and I said, "What's happened?" And she said, "I've been having an affair with a man from work."
But you know when you catch feelings for someone and you get that really intense high on life that makes you just want to say things like, "Oh my God, we just have so much chemistry." Have you ever noticed that when you feel that way, the object of your desire is unavailable, avoidant? Here's the bad news. You're not going to feel that way when you fall in love with a securely attached person. And it gets worse. Because that feeling will be absent, you will think that feels like boredom. And you will actually break up with any securely attached person because you will feel like there's something missing. And because you're fixated that there's something missing, which just makes you more emotionally disconnected, which just provides you with more evidence that there's something missing. That's why you break up with them. Then you'll go.
Okay, guys, so let me just say this. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm too harsh, maybe I don't have any emotions, I'm a robot, whatever. What she's saying may be true. But I will never stand there and explain to a woman for 5 minutes why she's choosing the wrong guy and how she should feel when she would choose the correct guy. No. You didn't choose the right guy because you're stupid. I'm not going to stay there and explain to you why. You're stupid, it's not my problem. Go and do the same mistake over and over and over again. And you just go on and live your life, guys. Go on and find a good woman. You shouldn't have to explain their mistakes.
Why are we irresistibly attracted to certain people, feeling an almost magical connection, while others don't do anything for us at all? The answer lies in the unconscious psychology of attraction. Harville Hendricks suggests that when we're young, we create a collective image of our parents in our unconscious, and when we meet someone that matches that image, we feel an instant connection.
One of the biggest telltale signs that the person you're with is right for you is the simple fact that they care about how their actions make you feel. It's not that they'll never hurt your feelings, because frankly, that's impossible. But when they do, they show empathy and accountability. They want to understand your perspective, not just defend theirs.
How many women did you meet in your lifetime that were willing to look at things from your perspective? Let me know down in the comments, because there are very, very few women like that.
They want to listen and they want to help repair the hurt that they've intentionally or unintentionally caused. Not because they're always wrong and you're always right, but because they care about you more than their own pride.
I don't know if y'all know this, but there are so many men out here who would love to have a woman and receive her love and give it in return. The issue is that so many men have been done wrong by women in the past. They just cannot stand the thought of feeling that type of hurt and pain again. What women have to understand is that men experience pain differently than a woman. Now, it's not to disregard anything that a woman has gone through, but it is to say that men already be on the fence of letting a woman get in and get too close, and when they finally let her in and she do him wrong, it makes him feel stupid. Like, dang, I never let a woman get this close to me. How did I let this happen? A lot of women have turned some good guys into men that just don't care anymore. To the fellas, I want you to know that it's okay to let go. Because you never know, you can meet the love of your life.
If you're a man who has hero syndrome, you're going to feel compelled to take care of women in a way that you were never taken care of. Problem is, you cannot help your wife or girlfriend in the same way that you needed help. Because when you needed help, you were a child who needed his parents' love and support. So when the urge to be the hero kicks in, you eliminate the romantic desire and replace it with a father-daughter dynamic. This is why the love dies, the intimacy dies, and eventually they leave the relationship even when you've given them everything, because figuratively, you've just helped them leave the nest.
Don't do it. Don't give them another chance after they have shown you time and time again their true colors. I get it, we are all human and we all make mistakes. But there's a huge difference between making a mistake and actively working on yourself to better that, and someone being stuck in a toxic cycle that they refuse to work on, or they only end up working on it or pretending to work on it when you leave. Do I need to remind you how many times that you've left and they claim that they're working on it, they claim they've changed? Maybe they even show you a little bit of evidence and tell you they are a different person now. They have learned, only for you to go back and realize that none of it was true. They only temporarily adjusted their behavior to manipulate you into returning because they didn't want to live with the discomfort and the pain of losing you. But they weren't willing to work on themselves while they had you.
It doesn't matter. In my opinion, it's still your fault because you let them come back in your life. You're the stupid one. Once a woman cheated on you, she will cheat again. If you think she's changed, you're just stupid. If she did it once, she will do it again.